Every gardener knows the frustration of a garden drying out during a heat wave. The soil cracks, leaves wilt, and even seasoned growers feel powerless against relentless sun and high temperatures. Yet, long before modern irrigation, desert civilizations, medieval farmers, and early agrarian societies developed a simple but incredibly effective moisture hack that kept beds alive during extreme heat. They didn't rely on sprinklers, timers, or chemical additives. They relied on a combination of ancient observation, soil layering, and smart shading that maintained water where it mattered most, at the roots. What's remarkable is that this hack still works today, and it's entirely adaptable for modern backyard gardens. If you've ever wanted to stop watching your plants suffer in the hottest months and start keeping your beds lush and productive, this technique is exactly what you need to learn. Now, let's break down how this ancient method functions and how to apply it in your own garden. The ancient method worked by concentrating moisture where plants need it most. The core principle of this hack is, well, deceptively simple. Trap and direct water deep into the root zone while minimizing evaporation from the surface. Ancient gardeners noticed that soil loses water primarily at the top layers, where sun and wind dry it out quickly. To combat this, they use layered techniques, organic matter, stones, and compacted subsoil to hold moisture below the surface. The effect is twofold. Roots have consistent access to water, and the soil above acts as a protective shield against heat and drying winds. In practical terms, you can replicate this by digging shallow trenches along your beds and filling them with a mixture of compost and mulch before planting. These trenches act as moisture reservoirs. When you water, the liquid seeps down instead of pooling or evaporating. The roots naturally grow toward this damp zone, ensuring plants are hydrated even during long dry stretches. Organic mulches were the secret ingredient for long-lasting hydration. Across cultures, from ancient Egyptian fields to Mediterranean terraces, mulches played a critical role. Straw-chopped leaves and even finely shredded bark were layered on top of beds to reduce evaporation, moderate soil temperature, and slowly release nutrients as they decomposed. The trick wasn't just covering soil. It was selecting materials that allowed water to penetrate slowly while protecting the soil's surface. For your garden today, spread 2 to 3 inches of straw wood chips or leaf litter over any newly prepared bed. Water thoroughly and watch as the mulch maintains a cool, damp environment beneath it. Unlike plastic sheeting or synthetic fabrics, organic mulches also feed the soil ecosystem, enhancing microbial activity and improving soil structure over time. Shallow basins and sun patterns were used to maximize water retention. Ancient gardeners didn't randomly water their plots. They observed sun angles, wind patterns, and soil slopes. Small depressions or shallow basins were dug around each plant, capturing rainfall or irrigation and directing it toward the roots rather than letting it run off. This method allowed heat-hardened plants to access water efficiently without drowning or surface runoff. You can recreate this today by gently shaping soil around seedlings or young plants into small saucers or concave depressions. Every time you water, the liquid collects in the basin, infiltrates slowly, and reaches the roots without excessive evaporation. This simple geomorphology-based approach is a natural amplifier for any watering routine. Deep soil layering, prevents heat from stressing roots. Some ancient techniques included layering coarse material like sand or gravel below the organic layer to stabilize temperature fluctuations. The principle is that deep soil, it retains coolness much longer than surface layers. For practical application, when building beds, you should create a base layer of coarse sand or fine gravel, then top it with compost and soil. Watering penetrates this layered bed more effectively, reducing heat stress and promoting steady growth during heat waves. The result is plants that stay upright, leaves that don't wilt, and fruit that develops without sun-scald. The genius of the ancient moisture hack is how these techniques work together. Mulch prevents surface evaporation. Trenches direct water to the roots. Small basins optimize water capture, and deep soil layers maintain a cool core. Once established, this system largely self-regulates. Even during prolonged heat, you can water less frequently because the soil retains moisture longer, roots access water efficiently, and microbial life thrives beneath the surface. Right, so here's a practical step-by-step example for you. First, start by loosening the top 6 inches of soil. Then create a shallow trench along your planting rows. After that, fill the trench with compost or organic matter. Next, shape shallow basins around each plant, cover everything with mulch, and finally, water thoroughly. Now, check the soil after about 3 days. You'll notice it remains moist and just a bit cooler under the mulch compared with those unprotected areas. This method really does work in any climate, and, it's scalable too. Although ancient civilizations developed this technique in arid or Mediterranean climates, it actually translates to modern gardens anywhere. Even small backyard plots can benefit from the same principles as large raised beds or community farms. The key, really, is layering, directing water to the roots, and moderating temperature. And even container gardens can benefit when you combine deep soil, mulch and basins to reduce heat stress. By following these time-tested methods, your garden can thrive during heat waves without relying on excessive irrigation, synthetic gels, or, complicated equipment. You're essentially borrowing wisdom that's been honed over millennia. If this deep dive into ancient moisture hacks sparked new ideas for keeping your beds healthy in extreme heat, make sure to subscribe and share this video with fellow gardeners, history enthusiasts, and anyone who values practical, time-tested knowledge. Hydro Haven is here to revive forgotten wisdom and help your garden thrive, even under the toughest sun.